welcome to Thursday Night Gridiron. Bill couldn't be here tonight. I'm John Oliver. Thank you so much for joining us. It's been a very busy week in the NFL. I am joined here by another John Haraska and Lawrence Pashman Lang. How are you? How are you tonight?
You know,
Better, better than the average Yankee fan.
you know, as many of you know, I am a Nationals fan, but you know what? I'm going to be a sad Yankee fan right now. My life was going good last night. I thought that was going to be a greatest comeback ever. We were going to channel our inner demons, be the Red Sox. Aaron Judge showed up for a little bit. There was a glimmer of hope. Stanton, Chisholm, all home runs. And then, you get to the halfway point of a game. All just crumbled away.
Oh,
Sweep
yes, I
from
know
under the
that was
rug.
a terrible baseball game. That's why Bill unfortunately couldn't be here tonight. That's why he unfortunately couldn't be here tonight. He is still severely depressed about last night, so he could not be here. So he asked me to fill in. Isn't that wonderful?
We
It
had it in
is.
our we
Yet
had it in
we
our
still wish
hands to
him
go
well.
back.
What was that, John?
We wish him well regardless.
Oh, we wish him jolly well. Okay, we got some football to talk about tonight, which has been told is not the football I'm used to back home. Which is the football I'm not used to back home. Apparently, you actually have to use your hands for this sport. Is that correct?
This is correct. This is Americanized football.
Okay, what's up, everyone? Bill here. Okay, funny story. They were dressed up. I didn't have a costume, so I just threw on a blazer and threw on a tie. So,
You know what? You'll get dinged for not being ready for Halloween.
oh come on! I put in some effort.
Yeah, in like 2 minutes.
Hey, you got it. That's pretty impressive.
I mean, I mean, it lasted longer than the Yankees World Series hopes, so we'll give you that. I'm taking off this Yankee hat finally. I'm done wearing that
Okay,
hat.
let's get started here on Thursday Night Gridiron. We are going to begin. We are going to begin with There was some news this week that Anthony Richardson of the Indianapolis Colts has been benched in favor of journeyman quarterback Joe Flacco. In 6 starts this season, Richardson has completed just 44.4% of his passes for 958 yards and 4 touchdowns and 7 interceptions. This past Sunday, after a 23-20 defeat to the Texans, he dropped the franchise of 4-4 on the season, and Richardson completed 10 of his 32 passing attempts for 175 yards and 1 touchdown to 1 interception. So, do you guys think this was a good move by the Indianapolis Colts?
I mean, you're going from, a second-year quarterback to a man that's maybe like fiberglass right now. He's one hit away from being on the bench, and then we're back to Richardson again. Just kind of like the situation in Carolina with Andy Dalton and Bryce Young. So,
Sounds about right.
Sounds about right. It just, you should have had a veteran quarterback start last year for the Colts instead of throwing Anthony Richardson into the Wolves and into the league. We talk about it with every year with NFL with rookie quarterbacks, even though this is a second-year quarterback. Well, we'll backtrack a second. Rookie quarterbacks sometimes just can't adapt that well. Case in point, Bryce Young. Benched for Andy Dalton. Andy Dalton gets hurt. Bryce Young's back in. Well, he's thinking, duh. We've seen it very rare where, quarterbacks can automatically jump into the wilderness and explore and be a good quarterback. I mean, right now we got Caleb Williams and our friend out in Washington, Mr. Hail Mary, are the 2 quarterbacks that are actually thriving right now. Jaden Daniels.
Oh, yes, that is true. John, the man who has the same name I do, what are your thoughts on this?
Honestly, sad to see anybody get benched, but if he hasn't been doing well, then ultimately you got to do what's better for the team. And hell, he took himself out for a play during that same game where they lost 23-20. and it was the head coach Shane Steichen. I probably butchered the hell out of that, but the head coach said that taking himself out.
Yes.
Yeah, thank you. He said that the two had nothing to do with each other. The self removal and the subsequent benching. And then their center, Ryan Kelly, publicly criticized the guy, saying, I think he knows that's not the standard that he needs to play up to, and the rest of the team holds him to. I'm sure he's going to take some criticism for that, rightfully so, but then defended how hard he plays when he does get in, even if he struggles. But there were others who weren't so kind, namely Rex Ryan. And even
yes, totally agree about this Rex Ryan fellow. So I think Joe Flacco, because he's been good lately, I think he'll be good for the Colts this week.
I think so too.
He better be damn good. I added him to my fantasy team because I'm in one of those leagues with the quarterbacks that have where you have like two quarterbacks. I'm in that league, and I had three, and I had to drop Daniel Jones because he's absolute rubbish.
As a Giants fan, I agree.
I hope Daniel Jones goes off now just to make you bloody hell angry.
Oh, don't be. Can I say this on air? Patch, don't be such a wanker.
I mean, to the English audience, we apologize for his use of the word wanker.
Oh, I'm getting canceled again, aren't I?
Oh, people chant that at football games. Your version of football. All the time.
Oh, they do. Yes, they do. We swear all the time. And then we go to the pub and have some pints. But anyway.
Swearing and a few pints sounds like a good time, but we're not here.
Oh, it sounds like a great time. You should come over sometime. Anyway, but yeah, I think Joe Flacco. But I think this was a good move by Indy. And plus, listen, don't forget, Richardson got hurt last year. So this is kind of technically his rookie season once you think about it. But I think maybe he's more shaken up from his injury, and that's more shaken up from his injuries. So I think now that's why he's not having a good start to the season. So I think the Colts can do good with Joe Flacco.
Yeah, and honestly, even if it hurts the development of Anthony Richardson, you gotta figure in that the dude's been hurt, the dude took himself out, and the dude's not performing, which sucks, but like I said earlier, you gotta do what's best for the team if the team is struggling. Or rather, especially if the team is struggling.
Oh, absolutely. So we got to see how this is going to have effects on the Colts. As this week, who are they playing?
I had to bust your bubble, Bill, but there's one more friend joining us tonight, too.
Oh, who's joining us now?
It is the angriest Jets fan in the world. That's not Ross Mason. You may know him as Big Brother, but right now he is the salt of the womb of the Jets fan base. Sir Eric Ford.
Oh, he had to come on here tonight, didn't he?
Yes, he did. Just
shut it up.
Right.
Shut up, Bill. Shut up.
Oh, Bill's not here tonight. I'm John Oliver.
I don't care who you are. You could be a British Bill. You could be the guy who lost the Revolutionary War, Bill. I don't care, Bill. Shut up, okay? I'm interrupting this show. This show. This is my show for now, okay? Because let me tell you something.
I didn't even say anything.
Let me tell you something.
Hey, calm down for a minute.
Okay.
It's all that fun here.
The Jets are done, okay? They hurt me.
You don't need to talk in a British accent to know that.
They hurt me to a point of unforgiveness, okay? I am just done with them, okay? And let me tell you, yes, sir. Okay, let me tell you this. I hope the Giants lose every other game this season just because I'm salty. I am also very heartbroken that the Yankees lost, okay? I'd
Hey,
rather
I'm so
see
that,
people about
dude.
it.
You know what I
We're
say to
both in
that?
the same boat with the Yankees. Well, all three of us are in the same boat here, so we can unite over that.
But you know
Dog
what?
Yankees lose.
You know what? I said all that just to say, you know what? Yeah, I'm mad. That's why I'm here.
Okay, Eric, we appreciate you. We appreciate you sitting here to vent your pain. We appreciate it.
Thank you,
So,
because this is I really see this as like my therapy session because I don't really have.
yeah, well, we were just actually about to talk about the game because we just talked about Anthony Richardson. Why don't you stay?
Oh yeah. So here's my
Okay,
thing, right?
I'll go to transition. Okay, moving on. Our main story tonight, tonight's game, the Jets versus the Texans. Um, okay,
I'm gonna ask you nicely to simmer down the British accent and be normal
okay.
now.
I'm
Thank you,
sorry.
appreciate it.
I'm sorry, buddy. I'm sorry.
No, you're good.
Okay. Stefan Stefan Diggs torn his ACL. First, we'll talk about the Texans. Stefan Diggs torn his ACL. Should the Texans trade for another receiver? Let's start with our guest of honor, Eric Ford.
Who's available for them to really get though? That's the question.
Well, they could get Mike Williams from the Jets.
Don't talk about that team.
They could get
Keep my team name out your mother.
Darius Slayton from the Giants is another option.
Yes, so is Tutu Otwell from the Rams.
That's good. Put Devontae Adams back in there.
KJ Osborne from the Saints, or not the Saints, the fucking the Patriots. Why did I have Saints on the brain? What is with me tonight?
Adam Thielen with the Panthers, and yeah, maybe Cooper Kupp from the Rams. So do we think that Stefan Diggs that they should trade for a receiver while Diggs is out for the season?
Personally, actually, you go first, Eric. You were called upon.
Yeah. Honestly, though, I don't. They still have Tank Dell. They still have other weapons that they can use. So I don't think that they should. I don't think that they will either. Because again, Houston is still good of a team. You know, it's not like another team in the same conference that their receivers' hands are just for decoration. I'm not saying the name of the team, but they rhyme with Baltimore Cravens. So they still have good weapons. So I don't think so.
Well, I think if they have the weapons, then I don't think they should bother trading for. I don't think they should really bother trading for another wide receiver. But I think maybe they should look into the options. Maybe they should look into someone like a Cooper Kupp or Tutu Otwell, if they, just so someone can fill that hole for CJ Stroud. John, am I totally crazy?
Honestly, like Eric said, they've got a lot of depth. Tank Dell, like you mentioned, Xavier Hutchinson, Robert Woods. They've gotten the most snaps aside from Dell. Until Collins returns, they'll take on a bigger load, obviously, and then afterwards they'll split time as the number 3. John Mechie the third, he's not like as far up the depth chart, but he could provide some offensive firepower once the chemistry develops between him and Stroud. But there is also Steven Sims, but that's probably a last resort type of deal because he's only had 3 offensive snaps and is mainly a special teams guy.
Okay.
But yeah, that said, I don't think they should trade, because they've got Nico Collins coming back from injury.
That is true.
As well. So yeah. No, they're fine where they are. Unless something else happens to Nico Collins that we are not aware of, then No, the Texans are good where they are, but they have options. Worst case scenario.
Oh, they absolutely have options. Worst case scenario. They actually do have options in that scenario.
Yeah,
Patchman, what do you think?
They shouldn't be worried right now. Ride with what you got. Mixon and Akers at running back. Their 1-2 combo at running back should help them out on offense a little bit, and then rely on the rest of your wide receivers. Make it a step up moment. Step in, field it wide. You become that number one wide receiver for our friend, for Mr. Stroud.
Running backs are
But you know
eligible
who was,
receivers
but you know
anyway.
who's the best receiver in the NFL right now? It's obviously CD Lamb. He is
Oh.
the best. He's the best receiver in the whole.
You can't even say that with a straight face.
In the whole NFL, he's the best receiver. Because Cowboys are the best.
That is his impression of Mark Oldovsky. How per?
I hope Mark comes on now. Just to tell Eric to shut up and then leaves.
I really hope so. I really hope so. Hey.
I love the name, Eric. New old ops guy.
The new old ops guy.
But yeah, I really hope so. But I don't know why I'm talking about this team. Cowboys. Just Cowboys. Cowboys. Cowboys.
That's the VHS of the last Super Bowl.
Okay, Patch. That's enough, Patch. Okay, Patch. Okay, Patch. That's enough, Patch. That's enough.
Anyway, I think we've covered Stephon Diggs.
Yeah, I think we've covered that enough. So anyway, coming up. So anyway, what about Joe Mixon? He has an impact on the team. 102 carries, 503 yards, 5 touchdowns. He came over from Cincinnati this year. I think he's having a great impact on the Texans run game. Let's start with John. What do you think?
Yeah, anytime you bring over a weapon on offense or defense that can provide instant chemistry, you're in for a good time, at least for the ensuing weeks. For the whole season, depends on who you got and who your opponents are. But yeah, dude's been actually doing pretty well, I gotta say.
I think he's had a strong impact on this Houston run game. Eric, what do you think? Or new old ops guy, what do you think?
He's not as good as Zeke, obviously, or Dalvin Cook in 2017. But he's a good addition to the Texans. I just want to say he's a really good addition to the Texans. Again, not as good as Ezekiel, because Ezekiel was just simply bashed right through him. But he's still a good addition to the Texans. So.
All right, Patchman, what do you think?
He's a great addition. He's averaging, 100 yards rushing a game. He's averaging, I think it's 5.9 yards per game. So, I mean, per carry. So, he's a great addition. He beefed up the running defense, the running offense with Houston. So it's a great addition once again. So, it's a great fit right now. And hopefully he can keep the ball rolling for them as they try to figure it out on the receiving end.
Yeah, I think I can agree with you on that because the Texans might be getting rid of one of their running backs Texans might be getting rid of, let's see if just getting his name up or thinking of, or probably going to think about trading Dameon Pierce thinking about trading Dameon Pierce. So I think Joe Mixon would be would be great for this run game.
I mean, if you're getting something in return for Dameon Pierce, sorry,
whatever his name is,
wrestling mode with Dameon Priest.
Monday Night Raw.
Don't just like You just set me a whole other world, man. I'm like,
I
oh
know.
my gosh.
Yeah. Remember, now it's your tribal chief. Uh, remember, um, they're going to trade him, get something back for you. Know, if you're trying to get a wide receiver, another draft pick, you get a couple draft picks out of it. Yeah, go for it because you're still going to rely on Mixon and Akers. So you
Oh,
get something.
absolutely.
If you get something for it, you get something for it. Go for it.
Yeah, I would say absolutely go for it. Okay. Do we think the Texans are a Super Bowl contender?
No, not at all. This team has cracks in it. Once again, they have cracks in the wide receiving end, and then if Mixon or Akers goes down, you're kind of
You're kind of
fandugled.
screwed.
You're kind of screwed, and Stroud just can't do it all. Stroud just lost his number one wide receiver for the season with Stephon Diggs. You lose Stephon Diggs, who is Stephon Diggs and knows how to catch a football. Shout out Des Bryant.
Which would make new old ops guy very
Now
happy.
Patchy. How no Patchy, no. Mm-mm.
All right, John, while these two are fighting, over to you.
Look, they're 6-2 right now, which is phenomenal for the first half of the season. However, like Patch said, it's tough when you have a small handful of guys holding your team up and the rest just can't do anything worth a damn. I mean, if yesterday's championship was any indication, anything is possible, whether you're decent and capitalize on openings you find, or you're just a group of stars who run into a brick wall.
Eric, what do you think?
They see they're not like my Cowboys who are always Super Bowl ready. We just need to get past the Packers and the Niners. But you see, no, personally, I don't think they're not ready. Unlike the other Texas team, the Dallas Cowboys, because they're the greatest Texas team of all time. I was born, I was alive when the Texans last won the Super Bowl. So I just want I just want you guys to be aware of that. First and foremost.
New old ops guy. The Texans have never won the Super Bowl.
That is true.
I meant the Cowboys. I was alive when the Cowboys won their last Super Bowl. So I just want you guys to know that. But no, I don't think the Texans are ready for the Super Bowl just yet. Give it a couple more years, and I think they'll be able to do it. Go Cowboys!
Well, I think they could have, but I think over the next, whether it be this season or next season, they have to fill some holes. Whether it be in the run game or in the receiving core, they need to fill some holes. But I think eventually, within the next few years, they can be the next. They can be the next. They can be Super Bowl contenders, I would say, in the next few seasons. If I'm crazy, please tell me. Okay, moving on. Oh boy, Eric's gonna have a field day here. Let's flip it to the New York Jets, shall we?
Okay. This is all right. I'm back now.
All right, I want to ask you. I'm going to start with Eric because he's going to provide most of the entertainment for the show. On this topic.
Should I get the popcorn?
You might want to. And get some beer too. Okay. Eric, we're going to start with you. Who is to blame for the Jets' problem?
Woody Johnson.
Why are they 2-6?
Woody Johnson. This guy is a terrible owner. Again, he's not as terrible as the Panthers owner, but he's still a very crappy owner. He does not know what he's doing. He does not know anything about football. He needs to sell the freaking team. He is the reason why we're in this situation in the first place. Yes, Robert Sala was never going to help us win a Super Bowl. We know that for sure. But firing him and promoting Jeff Ulbrich was just a terrible, terrible decision. Because right now, guess what's taking the fault for it? Our defense. Our defense is now crap. Our offense can't get it together. This team is a joke, and literally, you fire a man like just few weeks into the season, not even letting them play out the rest of the season, or even like, or if you just want to fire him, like, why didn't you fire him before the season like started? This is a joke of a franchise. I've
I agree.
never been more embarrassed as a Jets fan. I want to see Fireman Ed see the Jets win Super Bowl, but I don't know if that's ever going to happen unless he sells this freaking team. He is terrible and he does not know what he's doing. I blame him for the last few years. We really messed up back in. I can go on forever. He messed up back then when he fired a GM when the Jets were actually doing good with Rex Ryan. That messed us up. We drafted 3 rookie quarterbacks and had a defensive minded head coach minus Adam Gase, which out of all the offensive guys you could hire, you hired Adam freaking Gase of all people. Really? Like, he's a joke, and I will boycott every single game from now on until he starts freaking team.
Okay. How do we match that? Johnny,
We
over to you.
don't. We don't match that. But I'm
Because I
going
think
to
he's
add my own 2 cents. The Jets, sorry to say, they can't execute in high leverage situations. For Christ's sake, they couldn't handle backup New England quarterback Jacoby Brissett. Nor can Aaron Rodgers get his shit together, either as a player or a leader. And they're not exactly facing the easiest schedule. So, long story short, the Jets are screwed.
no, and I absolutely agree. Patch, what do you think has gone wrong for the Jets, and who's to blame?
Oh, it's a combination of a whole bunch of stuff. You can blame Woody, you can blame Salah, you can blame Rodgers, you can blame Brett Favre, blame you can trace it all back. I think it all started after you fired Rex Ryan after the back-to-back
Oh,
AFC championships appearances.
I agree.
How do you do that?
What'd you say?
So how the hell do you fire a head coach that brought you to 2 straight championship games?
Why do you fire a G? Why did you let a GM walk after those 2 back-to-back AFC championship
That's a
games?
better question.
Johnson.
This guy is the John Fisher of the NFL. Only difference is he's not trying to relocate the team.
I mean,
I wish they would, honestly.
You drafted Sam Darnold, didn't work out. Sam Darnold leaves, ends up in Minnesota. Look at the Vikings now.
Besides, in who was QB before that? Who we drafted? Geno Smith.
Geno Smith. Look at Geno Smith out in Seattle.
Great in Seattle.
The resurgence of a career. What are we going to see with Zach? Zach, I like your mom, Wilson.
He's not going to work out.
You don't know. Everyone said the same thing about Sam Darnold. Sam Darnold left. Found it. Maybe we'll
That's
see.
The thing. Sam Darnold was always good. We just didn't help him at all.
You didn't help him. Maybe Zach Wilson, if the situation in Carolina doesn't work out with Bryce, you can send him down there, get a couple draft picks for Zach Wilson, and maybe Zach Wilson can find it out in Carolina.
Who knows? Bryce Young may explode in New York. Change of scenery could be good for the both of them.
Change scenery could be good for both of them, but the Jets are. We used to say the Browns were the laughing stock of the NFL. Now it's the Jets. The Jets are just the laughing stock right now because they're lost in a pit. They're lost in a bottomless pit of they're in the pit of death in the movie 300. They just keep falling. It's they're playing How to Save a Life every time by the Fray.
Good song, by the way.
Great emotional song, and you can play In the End by Linkin Park. There's so many songs you can use to describe the New York Jets.
Besides Wake Me Up when September ends, Wake Me Up
when the season ends.
When the season ends.
It's Wake Me Up when Woody Johnson sells the team.
Amen.
Which would be Eric's dream scenario, wouldn't it?
It's every Jets dream scenario right now. It's like asking. I know it's another analogy I can use. It was kind of waiting for the Commanders to get sold. It was poetic when the Clippers got sold. It's grant those are two other situations that we don't need to dive into that involve other things that cause the ownerships to sell their teams.
Just in 2 cents, those people were just terrible human beings. He
absolutely are.
Woody just doesn't know how to run a football team. It's kind of like asking the kid that in Little Big League to run the Twins. He just didn't. He was using his heart instead of using his brain. Then he let the one guy run the team at the end of the movie where he can just be a kid again. Like this is what we're looking at right now. We're looking at a deer in headlights. We're looking at a kid that got Raisinets for Halloween. It's the Jets. Get rid of everybody. You know what? Hit the reset button, relocate the team. I don't know. That's just me trying to make Dan mad, but that's just me being me. But Woody just sell the team. Go on a process to sell the team. I'm sure there's plenty of billionaires in New York that want to buy the team. If a certain person doesn't win something on Tuesday, maybe he'll buy the Jets just to have something else to do.
Well, also, there's also a gentleman in Queens who owns a baseball team who's also a fan of the Jets. Maybe he'll be thinking about this.
I hope it does because at least that man cares about owning a baseball team, unlike the other team across the town where they only care about money. And the other guy, and he cares about spending money to get players instead of giving money to a player that didn't. I'm gonna say he didn't deserve the money, but he got the money because of one good season and then crashed and burned like the stock market.
Oh, no, those guys better freaking pay Soto.
Yes.
But
I think after what happened last night, I think Soto's not a Yankee anymore, and that's
we don't know. And plus, let's stick to the game here.
Yeah, I was about to say we're veering a little too far off course. As much as I would love to go on and on and on about what I think of the Yankees, we are talking about the Jets tonight.
The Jets are a dumpster fire.
Yeah, that doesn't make it much better, John. That doesn't make it much better.
It doesn't, but
anyway, do we think Aaron Rodgers is done after this year?
He's retiring. He just, you know what? Stephen A. Smith used to say it right. He's a bad man. That's not a bad man anymore. That's an old man. It just needs to.
I think he needs to go into the darkness room and think about this a little more.
He just needs to go on a retreat and enjoy retirement.
Yeah.
Right.
He's going to the Hall of Fame.
Versus the average retirement age from the NFL of 28. And he's constantly getting smacked around because his O-line is crap.
That is true. So
I used to say that about the Giants all the time, but I'm sorry, Eric, the Jets O-line is crap.
Yeah, no, it always has been. Ever since Nick Mangold and DeBarkashaw Ferguson retired, has been good.
Yeah.
Eric,
Nah.
is Aaron Rodgers done?
Yeah.
I'm going to agree with
Or
you.
he
This is
or he pulls a Brett Favre and signs to another team and he just explodes. Which again, I wouldn't be surprised because that's the Jets way.
because with Aaron Rodgers, we're looking at Washington Wizards Michael Jordan right now.
Yeah, what? Yeah, that's that's apples to oranges. I think I would still put my money on Jordan to win a championship with them before I put Aaron Rodgers in another team to win the Super Bowl.
I'm
But
on patchy with that one. Even Michael Jordan made the All-Star with the Wizards.
Good point.
I'd rather
anyway,
take Shaq on. I'd rather take Shaq on the Celtics to win a championship than Aaron Rodgers
Shaq
on
on the
the
Knicks,
another
are you
team to win
kidding
a
me?
Super Bowl.
here's
I would
the
take
thing.
Shaq on the Knicks to win the NBA Finals.
I think Aaron Rodgers is done. I think he's still shaking up from the injury last year.
No, he's over that. It's just he has nothing to protect him.
He's got no team to protect. I would say after this year, Aaron, just go away. Go into your dark room and just go away. Go into your dark room, and hopefully the voices in the dark room tell you to go away on a beach somewhere in Miami, have a couple pina coladas, and just enjoy your retirement. But watch in a
Honestly,
few weeks
after this week in New York sports, we need a few pina coladas.
with extra rum.
Got plenty of that around these parts, but
I'm coming around there more. But anyway, what was that? But anyway,
Aaron Rodgers.
I think Aaron Rodgers, and it's not just his performance on the field, it's just all the off field antics. It's publicity stunt after publicity stunt after publicity stunt, whether it be the vaccine stuff, the stuff with Jimmy Kimmel, him wanting to be RFK's running mate.
I mean, he apologized for the vaccine stuff, though.
Okay, yes, to be fair. And listen, we've talked about that till the freaking cows came home, and I don't want to get into it now because it's been a couple of years, but I'll just give you the quick version. It wasn't that he wasn't vaccinated. It wasn't that he lied. That was my issue. But with Aaron Rodgers, it's that, and then the whole thing in the beginning of the year with Jimmy Kimmel on Pat McAfee, and then the whole him wanting to be RFK Jr.'s running mate. I'm like, how much can these people stomach of him? Like, again, take the playing part out. He's just a drama queen. Patch, what do you think? Am I crazy?
I mean, he's a bit of a drama queen. He's not as big as a drama queen as Brady was, but Brady's dealing with his own stuff, and Brady's enjoying life on Fox.
Yeah, Brady's got his own gig going. Good for him. But Aaron Rodgers, man, yikes. Yikes, yikes, yikes.
Eric, what do you think?
Everything above. Everything I just said, I agree with.
All right. All right. So I'm sure this is a topic that Eric would love to scream about, the Hassan Reddick situation.
Okay, I think it calls for another round of popcorn and beer.
Okay, hold on.
Oh, well, this is Eric, go ahead since we're live.
Sell the team, Woody Johnson. That's all I'm gonna say. Sell the team, Woody Johnson.
If that's all, then if I may, I'd like to go next.
All right, Johnny, go right next.
All right. So this MFer holds out for nearly 2 months, has lost $3.2 million in game pay, $5.9 million in fines. The dude is just some different kind of beast that I don't want to get into. And I'm hoping he works out for the Jets because he's got $9 million remaining on his 2024 salary, which could possibly jump to about 12 million if he meets incentives that were just negotiated into the contract. For example, if he's on the field for at least 40% of the Jets' remaining snaps, defensively, he gets just shy of $800,000. 500 grand for each of his 8th, 9th, and 10th sacks, and then $2 million if the Jets make the Super Bowl and he's on the active roster.
Oh, I can. For those of you who don't know what's going on, he forfeited $5.5 million of his $14.25 million base for 2024 with a holdout, accumulating $6 million in fines from the team. Only going to have him for 9 games if they decide to retain him past Tuesday, which is the trade deadline. Should they retain him at this point, or should they just say, okay, don't let the door hit you on the way out?
No one's gonna want him. He has no trade
John,
value.
what were you saying? I'm sorry,
want him.
Eric. John, what were you saying?
Give him this.
Give him the axe.
Yep.
All right.
My costume worked so wonderfully today.
It does. Oh, it does. Okay. Eric, what do you think?
No one's gonna want him for trade value. So I mean, at this point, just ride this crappy wave out until the season and
Basically retain him and he go bye-bye.
Yep.
Let the contract expire.
Patchman.
Yeah, just let him go.
Let him walk.
Let him walk, hit the reset button. He'll end up on the Kansas City Chiefs at some point next year.
And then that'll be even funnier.
And then he'll explode with them, and then the Jets will be like,
oh, what did we just do?
Oops.
Okay.
But yes, they will be throwing things, I'm sure.
Maybe they'll be throwing your axe.
I wouldn't be surprised if they did axe throwing to cope with the stress.
Should the Jets do anything before the trade deadline outside of Devontae Adams' deal? We're going to start with the angry Jet fan.
the only thing the Jets can do is to sell the team. Out of that, nothing.
I've got nothing myself. They're already in a pretty friggin' deep hole. And the trade deadline is about a week, not even a week away. Holy crap.
Tuesday.
Yeah. Tuesday is the trade deadline. They are 5 days away. There is no way they can pull up to 500 or even anywhere close to it. They may win tonight, but that only gets them to 333. They are still 3 games under 500 at that point. Like if they were at or around 500, I would say, what the hell? Make a big move. That'll get you to the playoffs at least. May not get you all the way to the championship, but it will get you to the playoffs.
I can agree. Patchman, should the Jets do anything at the trade deadline?
You got a better chance of Aaron Judge catching a routine fly ball to get out of an inning.
Don't remind me.
Sorry, had to go there. Just have to,
What happened? PTSD flashbacks from last night.
Listen, you see my name, Sad Yankee fan. I'm being a sad Yankee fan right now, and I'm being realistic here. Yeah, to that happening.
You're right.
You got a better chance of that happening than the Jets making any more moves this season because the Jets are done. Not making the playoffs. Finito. Finished.
I'm with you, Patchman. Hit the reset button. It's time.
Spin. Sell the damn team.
Sell the team.
We've
Okay.
been screaming it at Oakland forever. Now we scream it at the AFC's representative in East Rutherford.
Okay. Our next thing. What are the X factors for tonight? John, X factors for tonight's game.
Okay, so for the Texans, it's going to be their interior offensive line, who has, as of right now, allowed the most combined sacks in the NFL with 15 and a half, which gives one of the Jets defensive tackles. I forgot his name and I didn't write it down. Shame on me.
Ding.
Hmm?
Ding.
Yep. But dude's got the perfect opportunity to wreak havoc with like 15 pressures in the last 4 weeks, 6 of which under 3 seconds. And then for the Jets, they got to apply defensive pressure since Nico Collins and Stephon Diggs are out for tonight. Not as much pressure as on the pass rush, but they should blitz constantly to create pressure on CJ Stroud.
All right. My X factor for the Texans is actually going to be Joe Mixon because he's been having a great season. And with Nico Collins and Stephon Diggs out, I think they're going to be mainly relying on the run game. I think they could be mainly relying on the run game, and I think Joe Mixon would be the key. For the Jets, I think it's going to be Brees Hall. I think Rodgers has to try to hit him as much as possible. And I think maybe they can get something going. Eric, what are your X factors for tonight? And I'm scared to ask.
You should be. For the Texans is to literally just end the game by the first quarter, so you can put your bench players in, have them get some nice nice reps going,
Get them reps.
because you literally have the Lions, which is a real matchup. The not next Sunday, but Sunday after, Sunday Night Football. So yeah, I would just end the game by the first quarter and then just take out your starters. For the Jets, I would just no, this I can't say it loud. I can't say it live. I can't say it live. Just not show up, I guess is the best way to put it. Just don't show up. Just be like, oh, okay. Enjoy the free trip to Houston. I don't know what's there in Houston. Just enjoy the free trip to Houston, then just go back home and just die there. Not like physically die, but like, yeah,
Metaphorically.
Fade off into
exactly.
obscurity.
Yeah.
Well,
Exactly.
Pat, what's your X factor tonight?
well, Eric, the Jets are home tonight, so they don't have they don't get a free trip to Houston. They get a free trip to go back home
Crap,
after the game.
I thought they were away. Oh crap. Oh, okay.
I mean, it's okay. You know, sometimes things don't come to mind right away. It's all right. You know, you're a Jets fan right now. You're just lost in the echo
I'm
of
a
being
Steelers
Jets fan.
I traded teams.
X factors. It's gonna be the Houston run game. The run game needs to step up with Stephon Diggs out for the season, so they have to step up big time. On the Jets side,
Absolutely.
it's Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers is the X factor. Now, if Aaron Rodgers can find whatever is in the Jersey air to become the quarterback that he is again, it's on him. Find Stephon Diggs. Find Wilson. Find something.
Mm.
Give your Jets team hope for something, maybe. If not, you're crawling down the Brett Favre territory and being a New York Jets quarterback, and there's no saving you.
Oh, there is no saving you. Okay, so what is our prediction for tonight?
I say the Texans, but with some of the Texans out, the Jets figure we got nothing to lose. I say still Texans, but within a touchdown. It's going to be a one-score game.
Okay. Eric.
My dream score would be Texans 48-0. Realistically, I think the Texans actually are going to literally give the Jets a chance to win. So I'd say like 17-14.
Okay.
Texans.
I can see that happening.
Catchman.
In a alternative universe, I would say Jets get the win 26-20. but this is the Jets we're talking here. So 27-6, Houston.
I'm going to say 28-10, Houston. Okay. Moving on. Now, before we go, in honor of Halloween, what is your guys' 3 to 5 favorite candies? Let's start with John.
All right. I happen to enjoy a good Twix bar as my number one. Snickers, chasing right behind it. Reese's Cups, I've had them ever since I was a kid. They come around the middle of the pack. Hershey bar and lollipop round that out. Can't go wrong with classics. And like as much as I love chocolate, sometimes I'm not in the mood for it. Honorable mention to Butterfinger because I was a demon with those as a kid, but
All right,
yeah.
Bart Simpson, settle down.
Bite my Butterfinger.
Batchman.
Well, as a sad Yankee fan and relishing the past, I love a good Baby Ruth because Ruth at least could win championships, unlike this team.
Okay.
I got Eric.
Okay.
I got Eric good on that one. I got Eric good on that one. I hope our friend Haro is watching that. To hit the reset. My number one is the Take 5. You know, good combination of caramel, peanut butter, chocolate, pretzel, and something else. Followed by the Reese Cup, then the Hershey bar, the Milky Way, and the Three Musketeers.
Okay. Eric.
I'm mad now. I don't want to say it.
If you say almond joy, you're out of this room.
Oh, almond joy is terrible. I would say Reese's, Fast Break, and Hershey Cookies and Cream.
Ooh.
Ooh,
Interesting
good honorable mention with that one for me. I like that one.
Over to me.
Sure.
Okay. I love Twizzlers.
Invalid list already.
I like Skittles.
I'm more joking.
Oh.
I like Skittles. Taste the rainbow. I do like Reese's peanut butter cups. I like Kit Kats. And my favorite, and this is my go-to candy when I go to the movies, Milk Duds.
Solid choice.
I love Milk Duds. So that is like my go-to movie candy. And it was funny in the Regal, because Regal didn't have them for a while because there was a contract dispute of all that, because apparently Milk Duds is affiliated with Coca-Cola Company, and Regal was mainly selling like Pepsi products. But I guess something happened because they have them back. They have them back.
Okay.
So I'm happy. Bill's happy. Milk Duds are back.
Buy your own and sneak them in.
What was that?
Buy your own and just sneak them in.
Okay, that's true. So yeah, those are mine. So anyway, guys, thank you for joining us tonight. That is it. And also an important reminder, this Tuesday, if you haven't already, don't forget to go out and vote. Do not forget to go out and vote on Tuesday. Regardless of who you're voting for, let your voice be heard. We are in a democracy. Let your voice be heard.
Hear, hear.
We are not endorsing any candidate. We're just saying go out and vote your conscience.
Paul
Anyway.
Bunyan says vote how you feel will be best. Paul Bunyan endorses a proper democratic process.
Yes.
As I
I
said,
don't know if I could vote because I'm from the UK, but I'm a citizen now, so I guess I could vote. That's our show. For me, John Oliver, for John,